Sony is Microsoft. I didn't think they had as good a showing this year as Sony. None of their games really, like, plopped out. None of their games were like a gigantic turd that was so big that just made me be like, whoa! But Sony's games were like a turd so big that I was just like, did they really do that? Is that really possible? Well, then I will say that one other thing that Sony announced too, that if any of you guys are excited for this, go ahead and say so, but I love Sony is bringing back sharing your games with your friends. So Sony understands that we're going to a more digital world right now, and one thing that I felt was really cool that they're doing is this sort of, it's a online couch co-op is what they called it, and I sort of get where they're coming from with the idea of online couch co-op. So basically, the online couch co-op thing that they talked about was sort of this idea that if your friend is playing a game online, I'm going to use the game Little Big Planet 3 as an example because that's a game that's way more fun to play with people, and that's a game that Sony is like known for, and that's a game that's going to be coming out on their next... It's not out, but it will be coming out, so it's a good example game for that console. So anyways, I'm glad that alligator is chasing that hippopotamus and not me. So anyways, if your friend is playing a game online and you want to play it with them, you don't have to do one of the two things that you would have to do in the past. A, you'd have to go over to your friend's place and play it with them, or B, you'd have to buy the game. So they were like, Sony, I guess, in their mind, their sort of idea was, why should you have to go buy the game when, like, let's say your friend lives across the country from you, and you haven't bought the game yet because you don't know if it's an amazing game or not. So you're like, I want to play the game, but I can't, so whatever. My friend lives across the country. Well, now they're like, you can just jump in with their game, even though you do not own the game. You can just jump in with them and start playing it. And then I think that's a really cool idea because from a sales perspective, I think that's the right move. It kind of instills this idea that, like, then if you enjoy playing it with your friend, you're more likely to buy it. Because then, like, once your friend is like, hey, I gotta go... My boyfriend is calling and I'm gonna go hang out with him, then you sit there and you're like, damn, I want to keep playing, but my buddy's going to go hang out with his or her boyfriend, and it's like, what do I do now? And you go buy the game. So I don't know. I think that personally, in my opinion, it's a pretty good sales tactic. Some people might not think so, but I definitely believe that it's a sweet sales tactic. It's smarts. They've got the right idea here. So balls down, balls out, Sony. Good job. Thank you for being great, cool people, Sony. I love you forever. I used to not know if I thought you were cool dudes, but now it's surely there. You don't even have to own a game to play along with your friends. That's some gangster ass shit. By the way, now that and that's all that really impressed me at Gamescom, by the way. So I'm done. In case anybody was like, why is Raktar just talking about the weirdest shit today? I'm done talking about what excited me from Gamescom. Although, I will say, go look up some of the stuff from Gamescom. It's been a pretty exciting Gamescom. Now, to talk about what I'm actually doing, to actually speak of what's on screen, which I try to do that, but sometimes, I just get distracted. I can't always talk about what's going on the screen. You may be wondering why I am, even though with my abilities lowered due to old age, you may be like, Raktar, what the fuck are you doing? Your abilities are lowered due to old age. You really, by no means, should just be walking around like that. But I've got a reason for walking around with my abilities lowered due to old age. And that's particular, that's specific and particular. That particular reason is that I am going to wait until the 21-year mark, at which point in the 21-year mark, I'm going to mate with this mate, and then it will count towards my objectives, because currently one of my objectives is to mate at the 21-year mark. There's a present down there. I might actually go for it. But yeah, so one of my current objectives is to mate at the 21-year mark, and I'm sort of like waiting it out so I can get there, use this prime female mate at the 21-year mark, get that out of the way, and then, at least for a good portion of that chunk of the game, I will have a prime female mate. And all the goods, I know some people are probably like, Raktar, you gotta go back to the present, but if this timing is gonna work out, I have to have this particular area marked up. And then I'm gonna come back to the nest. Oh, I already have this area marked up. Beautiful. Well, maybe I should go back for the present. Nah. I don't want to do what I do sometimes, which is I miss a lot my time right. The new objectives have begun, and now I can totally check it out 100%. Matesies. Cross one objective off my list, and I'm going towards Daganzaka right now, and Daganzaka is the other zone where it told me to, well, I have to go find Bujin, which admittedly, Bujin is one of those places where when I have the objective to go find it, I will seriously just kind of like run around and just be like, I don't know what's happening right now, but I hope I find Bujin, and then usually, because Daganzaka is a really small area, I will usually, like 9 times out of 10, end up, oh my gosh, that's probably my panda brethren from earlier. I will 9 times out of 10, I will end up finding Bujin on accident, so even though I don't actually know where Bujin is, I will still probably find Bujin. Although it is made slightly more challenging because of the spoopy nature of what's happening right now. It's nighttime and it's raining, and everybody knows that 9 out of 10 movies in murder mystery, or 9 out of 10 murders in murder mystery movies. I gotta say that correctly, not movies in mystery movie murders. Mystery movie murders. 9 out of 10 movies in mystery murders happen when it's nighttime and raining outside. And yeah, can you see that? That wolf thought it was all like, oh, I'm a gangster, I'm a wolf, I'm gonna show this guy. But then it knew. Okay, we're not looking for Doma Doma, but then it knew. It was like, oh no, these guys know what's going on. But you know what? Not surprisingly, because you guys know how much I love the Beagle in this game. That Beagle seemed to be pretty dead set on killing me. Like, that Beagle didn't give a fuck. I saw that Beagle creeping in that grass, and it was like, I know that wolf's afraid to kill you, but I ain't afraid. There it is, right there. Oh crap! I didn't hit it with the correct timing. I'm so sorry, Pizza Beagle Bites. I just took a Pizza Beagle bite out of that Pizza Beagle. Oh, whoa! That was a Lycaon. Oh, we got more. It brought friends from the jungles of Africa to murder me. Actually, it was more than likely it's probably not from the jungles of Africa. Judging by the storyline of this game, it's probably from the zoos of Tokyo. Probably from Tokyo, Hikogi, what is the name of that damn place? Yoyogi Park Zoo. I'm gonna assume that there's a zoo in Yoyogi Park. Now, I know I've got no real basis for assuming that there's a zoo in Yoyogi Park, but think about it. This game, as I've learned, as I've explained before, has locations that are actually accurate to Tokyo itself. So, not only does this game have locations, I think Bujin's are right over here. This game has locations that are accurate to Tokyo, but also, aside from locations being accurate to Tokyo, I assume that, why would they not be they say that there's a zoo that all the animals escaped from. That's how you have all these, like, exotic animals out here. So, presumably, Yoyogi Park is where the zoo is, because that area looks like a zoo. It's got, like, food stands, and there's Bujin. We gotta remember, Bujin is right here. It's right on the corner. Basically, Bujin, you can't miss it. Like, seriously, from what I've found, Bujin is, like, unmissable. And, oh, it's daytime. Yay! It's finally daytime. I was getting spooked out by the spoopiness of nighttime. Oh, hey, there's a friendly fellow panda over here. Oh, nope, that's not friendly. I mean, that is a fellow friendly panda, but it's friendly in all the wrong places. AKA, it's friendly in all the desperate places, and I am not going to associate myself with that panda. I know I do need to mate a second time within the allotted amount of time, but let's not close my options. Although, if we find a... Oh, average. Boom, take it. Oh, I can't. Oh, we gotta go get some food. Damn. By the way, so my thing about average mates, I'm just gonna talk about this. I always mate with an average mate, and that's because, in my mind, if you see an average mate, you could roll the dice and try and get new mates to spawn, or whatever. But the odds are you have a whatever % chance that you're just gonna get a desperate mate or an average mate. So either you spent more time to get the same mate, or you spent more time to get a worse mate. So in my mind, it seems to make sense that instead of like if you get a prime female, go for it. Like, that's a good thing. Prime females are great to get. But if you don't, it seems to me that it might be in your best interest to just go with the average mate, because average is middle of the road. You got a whatever percent chance. Oh yeah, so here's the thing. You've got, when you re-roll your mates, you've got a 66% chance of getting equal or worse mates, and you've only got a 33% chance of getting better mates. So it's like, in all likelihood, you're just going to end up with a worse mate overall. So in my mind, it seems like it's probably worth your while, in my humble opinion, to go for every average mate you see. You should just go for it. So I don't know. Some people have, in the past, given me a hard time about the fact that I will always take an average mate no matter what, especially right now, when I'm in a situation where, look at this, I got this big old pack of pandas. I got the double P. I got the panda pack. I gotta kill these retrievers, because if I hit triangle, which I've accidentally done a lot while I'm fighting, if I hit triangle, I will end up having to sacrifice one of my pandas. Not worth it, because I can take golden retrievers, and in turn, I'm saving this horse. And who knows? Sometimes, when you save a horse, maybe it'll come back and save you later. I don't know. Maybe that horse, I'll need a ride as a panda. I'll ride a horse, and you may be like, pandas can't ride horses. Pandas are gigantic. But in World of Warcraft they can, and that is obviously based on science. Oh, we're gonna kill shit. There's a guaranteed retriever kill right there. What? Usually if you evade, you get a guaranteed kill. They cheated. They cheated. I'm not gonna be cheated anymore. Alright. Now the worst part is, I might actually have to end up settling for a desperate mate here, because, as I've explained before, mates become worse over time, and every so often, I don't even know the amount of years, I've never looked it up, I probably should. Every somewhat years, a mate will lose a rank, so a mate can become desperate after a certain amount of years, and a mate can go from prime to average after a certain amount of years, but luckily, apparently I did just the right amount of years for me to maintain my beautiful, loving status of being awesome with this mate o' mine, which we are now going to do stuff with, mate with mate, and do all the things, and hopefully get a decent pack. I mean, of course I'm gonna get a decent pack. I think so. I mean, basically, it's not even that big of a pack difference either. I mean, I'm gonna get 2 extra people versus 3 extra people, and with a desperate, you get 1 versus 2. That's one other thing, though, too, is when you're playing with larger animals, at that point, it's definitely not, like, really that important. Oh, shit! I forgot that eat a grasses oh, shite. I thought my 3 things were go to Dagenzaka. Where the food at? The food is in Shibuya Shop District, or not Shibuya Woods. There's some at Shibuya Station. Oh, shite. Alright, we gotta book it now. I feel so dumb. I completely forgot that one of my objectives was to eat grasses. Although, once again, this is one of those objectives that I can't particularly control. Like, sometimes I've failed objectives like this simply because there are no grasses to eat. I always get a little bit sad that at the end of the day, when you're a person like me, who it's not just about surviving for a long amount of time, for me, you know, it's largely about getting all the objectives done, and once I don't get the objectives done, I'm always a little bit disappointed. I'm like, oh, no objectives for Raktar. And I almost like lose the will to keep going, but I'm like, I have to keep surviving. But anyways, in cases like this, where this all goes down, I lose my chance at the objectives, I get a little bit disappointed. So I'm really hoping that maybe there can be some grasses here in the there's only 1 year. There's only 1 year, and I think the food meter might have been showing, we need a light, because a light will allow me to, let's see here, one of the items is a light, and it'll increase visibility in the dark. I don't have it. Yeah. Sometimes I think the food meter is actually showing food. It doesn't discriminate on whether or not it's like a dog or whether it's a whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it'll be like, it doesn't matter if you're an herbivore or a carnivore. We're going to show that this zone has a lot of food, and it doesn't matter what type of creature you are. I just got a major lag spike. That's weird. It usually doesn't happen on the PS3 because it's a console. And this game is not a particularly taxing game. So yeah, I don't think it discriminates on what type of animal you are when it's showing food. It'll just show that there's a lot of food if there's a lot of something, which is kind of lame because you get in a situation like this where you can't eat any grasses. I'm gonna chalk this one up to the game because there's no way I could have known that there was going to be no grasses, although I could have. I will admit, I could have been heading to an area that had more food. At the end of the day, I definitely could have sat there, headed towards an area that I saw had more food, and not, oh, and look at that, prime female. Too bad that there's, like, no food. Oh, now I see the food because it's daylight, but doesn't matter, it wasn't grasses anyway. Super sad day for Raktar. Raktar doesn't get his dreams to come true. My dreams, of course, of eating 3 grasses. Yep, that's a grass. And that's a grass. Well, I would have gotten halfway there. And by halfway, I mean 66% of the way there. Speaking of 66%, I'm going to end this episode right here. This has been Raktar. Thank you for watching.